everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all types of topics related to narcissism. So if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos. I would really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. It's a free way you can help me out. And definitely don't forget to leave a comment because I like to read what you have to say. In today's video, I'm going to talk about failure, specifically a narcissist failing and what that means for you. There's a huge difference between people who know narcissists personally and people who only know of narcissists through the media, etc. Famous narcissists can seem invincible. They often have incredible success and power. You think of business leaders or heads of state. But those are the smallest percent of narcissists. You know, recently I went to a Red Sox game with my kids. My son's a huge baseball fan. And I'm looking out in the field and I see these players. And these people, the people that actually made the major leagues, are such a small percentage of people compared to the people that wanted to make the major leagues, the people that played baseball since they were little kids, you know, that were in Little League and went on up. Most people don't achieve that type of success. It's the same thing when you think about these business leaders or these heads of state, these bigwigs that have phenomenal success. Below them are the vast majority of people that don't reach that type of success. Your everyday narcissist, especially the covert narcissist, these beings fail much more often than they succeed. And God forbid you're married to one. You are sure to experience real suffering, real agony. Narcissists don't fail alone. They bring everybody else down with them, as many people as possible. Joe mentioned this in a recent video. They don't go off on their own and self-destruct. No, they take as many people down with them as they possibly can. Before I go further with that, though, it's essential to really understand exactly who a narcissist is and what they're capable of. First, right off the rip, they believe fully that they are superior to you, and they act on that. And when I say that, I don't mean they care about themselves more than you. They don't care about you at all. To a narcissist, you are 100% expendable. It's shocking. I mean, it really is. When you really think about that, you're with somebody who truly doesn't care about you. That's a difficult thing for anybody to comprehend because it's so outside of what the narcissist led you to believe at the beginning of the relationship when you form your opinion of them. It really is terrifying. Narcissists do not have a conscience or any kind of remorse. So for many of us, we end up learning the hard way. This is always true. There's no humanity in a narcissist. They're predators. They're evil to their core. They enjoy the power that they have to make other people suffering. They will enjoy watching you suffer, watching their kids suffer. So while you are up at night anxious, worried, and traumatized, narcissists sleep very well. The most important thing I want you to recognize for your own safety and your future is this. Narcissists are malevolent, dangerous, and insane. You will never be the same after an involvement with a narcissist. They leave behind a debris field of human suffering. Please do not believe that your narcissist is different. All of us, every single person who is aware that they are or were with a narcissist, believed at one point that their narcissist is different. You know, this is a large reason why I have this channel. I had no idea what narcissism was until a few years ago. No idea. I didn't know that this type of thing existed. I had no clue. Once I found out, I did what so many other people do. I believed that my ex was the exception. It was almost like a positive thing when I found out. I thought, oh my gosh, now I know. Finally, things can improve. You know, he can get therapy or we can talk about it. You know, I figured that once I told him, I mean, this is how naive I was. And I know some of you might be in this exact position right now. You think naturally, I'm going to tell this person. They're going to be happy that I know this information. Now they can get better. The problems that we have had in our relationship, now we know the cause for them. That isn't how a narcissist looks at it. They really don't. And I know you don't know me. Most of you don't know me. So maybe I'm just this bitter, angry person who is just spewing hate because I've been hurt. It isn't true. For those of us, so many of us who watch this channel understand this is the reality. I'm trying to save somebody at the beginning of their relationship who's just finding this out, who's in that hopeful stage. And it's not that I want to crush your hopes. I want to save you. I want to save you agony, because there is nobody who is with a narcissist or who was with a narcissist who is now living a happy and content life with that narcissist. The reality is the best you could possibly hope for. And even this is going to be the tiniest percent of narcissists. I mean, it's almost imperceptible. So, to have this type of narcissist, you would have to win the lottery, get struck by lightning, and get bitten by a shark in the same day. The odds are astronomical. And it's not even that great. So the best you could hope for would be that your narcissist could understand that, geez, that I am a narcissist, and understand that they're hurting you, and be aware of it, and maybe learn to recognize things that they do. Now, recognizing things that they do and caring are two very different things. And the other issue that you would have, even if this person could recognize that they don't treat you that great, that they are a narcissist, when times are tough, when you need that person the most, they're going to revert exactly back to the worst of themselves. So this is the best you can hope. Everybody who is with a narcissist, who has left the narcissist, is enjoying a better life than when they were with the narcissist. I'm a Christian. I'm not somebody that wants to break up marriages, but I am realistic, and I do want everybody to have the best life that they can have. That's what I do on this channel. I try to encourage people to live the best life for themselves, for their children, and not to spend years and years of their lives in regret. So if you listen to nothing else I say, please listen to this and make decisions based on this. Your narcissist is not the exception. What happens with narcissistic relationships is that they mess all of us. They mess with all of us at the beginning of the relationship. They lie to us. They pretend that there's somebody else. They know, recognize this. They know you won't like them if they don't, so they lie. They love bomb. So you fall in love, we all do, with this fake person. And then we insist that that's the real person until the reality becomes too painful to ignore. I'm trying to save you what could be years of time. You love a lie. You're giving someone who is betraying you right now a 100th chance to get it right. I did that for years. So you meet the narcissist. First opinions really matter. So you meet the narcissist. They recognize they can't be themselves. So they treat you fantastic. They treat you how they believe that they need to treat you to win you. And once they win you, now first off, remember, here's the narcissist pretending to be somebody else. So they know when you fall in love with them that you don't really love them. You love the pretend them. So they know this right off the bat. They get you and you believe it's real. The narcissist knows it isn't real. So later, when they become the real them, the person that they're going to be for the rest of the relationship, you keep insisting that the real them is who they were at the beginning of the relationship. I did this for years. I would think to myself, well, I know it's possible for him to be this way. He's been this way. That's how he used to be. If only we could get back to the beginning of the relationship. What I failed to recognize, what so many of us fail to recognize, is that that is not the real person. The real person is who they are when you are miserable. The person that you want them to be doesn't exist. It's really creepy. You're in a relationship with a pretend person. It's really like as if I had an imaginary boyfriend or an imaginary husband. It's not real. It's like you see these weird reality shows where people do bizarre things. I could see this being a reality show. Here I am married to my imaginary husband. He doesn't exist. He's only a figment of my imagination. It's exactly what's going on. So you're giving this person their 100th chance to get it right. In my case, what I did was that I severely underestimated my ex. To me, he seemed like a man-child. Now, I knew for a long time that my relationship was unsustainable. I knew divorce was inevitable. I did not have any respect for him. When I first got together with him, I thought he was a completely different person than he was. As the relationship progressed, I started to see that, geez, he really isn't the person he said he was. But I thought he changed. I didn't think that he was conning me from the beginning. I didn't like the person he had turned into. Because in any relationship, in life, I mean, everybody, you should do this. You change, you become better, over time. You're not the same person. Like, I'm in my 40s. I'm not the same person that I was in my 20s, my teens, right? Even my 30s. And God willing, when I'm in my 50s and my 60s, I'm going to be a better version of myself today. I always want to keep improving. Narcissists don't do that. They stay stagnant. So while you improve, while you become a better person, the narcissist stays exactly where they are. And when in my relationship, when I was with my ex, I didn't like the person that he was, the person that he had stagnated as. He was lazy. He didn't do anything. He would lay around the couch all weekend. He never did anything with the kids. He was not ambitious. He was not trying to make himself a better person. And then he would lie to me constantly. And I ended up thinking that he was like a man-child. Like I didn't know that he was lying to me about stuff. I didn't know that he didn't care. I just thought that he didn't have ambition. And I thought, geez, I don't know if I can be with this person long term. I made the classic mistake that so many people make. I thought it would be better for my kids to have a 2-parent household, that it would be better for my kids to have an intact family. What I learned the hard way is that if you're with the wrong person, if you're with somebody that's not there anyways, you don't have an intact family. In my case, I had a body. So I had a body there, but he wasn't a husband. He wasn't a father. He didn't, contribute anything to the family at all. He hurt the family. So if you're in this situation, just consider that. Consider that you're trying to maintain an image that isn't real to begin with. I didn't want to break up my family while my kids were young. I didn't have any idea until a few years ago who I was really married to. And this is the truth about a failed narcissist. When narcissists fail, they fail big, and they'll keep it hidden from you until the disaster is so enormous you'll find out or be told. This is how a narcissist destroys your life, by bankruptcy, cheating on you, breaking the law, anything. They pretend it isn't happening. Now, a narcissist doesn't have any morals. They're not trying to be a good person. They're not trying to take care of their family. I had a lot of assumptions in my marriage, and I think people do this. You think, well, if somebody's a husband or somebody's a wife or somebody's a parent, you assume that they're going to be a certain way. Like, I always assumed that my ex loved the kids because I loved the kids, and he was a father. So I thought, well, he must love the kids. He was my husband. So I thought, well, he must want to take care of me. He must want to be a husband. After all, he told me he wants to do this. He told me he loved the kids. But when it comes to anybody, this is another thing. So many of us learn things the hard way. Joe always says that love is an action verb. And that's so true. You can say anything. I could tell you that I love you. I could tell my kids that I love them. But if I don't ever do anything for them, if I never actually show them, do I really love them? It's easy to say things. It's easy to talk. It isn't as easy to have action behind those words. And a narcissist doesn't have the action. You end up going just by their words. And a lot of times it's because you want to believe it. You don't want to think. Who wants to be married to somebody and think that their husband, their wife doesn't care about them, doesn't love their kids? They tell you they do, and you want to hold on to that. It's natural. It's normal. It's a hard reality. It's almost an impossible reality to accept who the narcissist is. So many of us have to go through unendurable agony before we have to admit defeat, and that's what happens. But a narcissist throughout your relationship is scheming and lying. They don't do things the natural way. They don't do things the way that you think that they're going to do things. They're lying to you right now. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, there's something you don't know. There's a lot of bad things I know my ex did, but I'm aware that God knows what I don't know. It's not possible that you would know every single thing. And if you have evidence that this person is doing something wrong, they will attack it aggressively. They will attack you personally. You're stupid, jealous, a hater. You're the one that's going to be blamed. You expected too much. You always knew. When my ex filed a false police report against me after he self-harmed himself and blamed me, he was forced out of the house. Instead of trying to comfort his traumatized and terrified children, he texted them. Now, see, my ex hasn't seen his kids, hasn't talked to them, had any communication, nothing for 16 months. When he was kicked out of the house, when he saw his kids crying and my son yelling at him, begging him to stop, he was pulled out of the house. Instead of trying to comfort them afterwards, he sent them texts that said, "Your mother isn't innocent." That's what he did. This is what a narcissist does. He has the opportunity to do something, to make something right, or to try to comfort his children, but instead he took advantage of that and decided, I'm going to blame Sharon. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to blame Sharon to my kids. This is what a narcissist does. They're never going to do the things that they should do. They will lie about things you did or didn't do. And if you have proof, they'll ignore you. You know, one thing my ex did, he would get into this credit card trouble. He was terrible with money. So at one point he got into all this credit card debt, like almost $100,000 in credit card debt. Now he's in $100,000 in credit card debt now too. Happened before, and his parents paid it. So now his parents aren't paying for it. So he's actually he's being forced to deal with what he did. He was never forced before. So his parents paid it off. But before they did, he blamed me. He told me, he would come up with these absurd figures. He said to me, well, you spent, $5,000 a month at the grocery store, or, you spent $2,000 last month at Target. Now, I knew that that wasn't true, but I couldn't prove it. I didn't have receipts. I couldn't prove it. All I could do was just protest. No, I didn't. That's ridiculous. How could I possibly spend that much money? It's not true. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That's why I earned so much credit card debt. After that happened, I started keeping track of every single thing I spent, every dime. So then when he got into credit card debt again and he did the exact same thing, I showed him. You said I spent $5,000 on groceries last month. I spent $998. Look, here's every single receipt. You said I spent $2,000 at Target. I spent $125. Look, here's the receipt. Look, here it is. Look at it. At that point, he just left. He just gave me a silent treatment. That's what a narcissist will do. They will dish it out, but when you have proof, when you can counter what they're saying with real evidence, they will refuse to believe you. They will refuse to communicate. They will never admit defeat. He just left. He would just leave. He would just take off. He would stop talking to me. He would go off and get drunk. Then he would convince himself. I think so. I think he would convince himself, oh, well, she doesn't have all those receipts. Yeah, she says she spent $1,000 on groceries. No, it was $10,000, whatever, just some absurd amount of money that he would say, that he would justify in his own head because that's what he wanted to believe. Any kind of public embarrassment will enrage a narcissist. So be very, very careful about that. This is where you can get into some serious trouble. A narcissist cares about other people above you. You're the closest person to the narcissist, so they have to keep you a little bit separate from everybody else. They want everybody to have a high opinion of them. You know things about the narcissist. They don't want other people to know this. So if you have anything that you could use against a narcissist, if a narcissist thinks that you could publicly embarrass them or make other people feel negatively about them, be warned. No matter who you're with, they always have the potential to be dangerous because you don't really know this person. You only know what they want you to know, who they pretend to be. You really have to be kind of like this private investigator going behind the scenes trying to figure different things out about them, but you're never going to be able to get your mind fully into the mind of a psychopath. All you can know is that this person has the potential to be dangerous. Whether they are or not, it doesn't really matter in terms of what you need to do to keep yourself safe. I'm in the unenviable position right now where I'm very close to ending my marriage. I don't know what my ex is capable of. I can't read him. I don't know. Think about people that know the Shanann and Chris Watts story. This is the man who killed his pregnant wife and his daughters a couple of years ago and put them in the oil well. He seemed like mild-mannered Chris, somebody that would never hurt anybody. But he had a completely secret life behind the scenes, and he did the unimaginable. When you are with a narcissist, you don't know this person. So take every precaution. And I'm not saying that you should be paranoid and think that this person is going to kill you, but you don't know. That's the thing. You can never truly know who a narcissist is. So just be warned, narcissists bring other people down with them, and they're not immune to physical violence. You're dealing with somebody who doesn't have empathy. They don't think like you do. It's a horrible situation. With all that said, though, I want you to understand that if you are with a narcissist, it doesn't matter how long you're with the narcissist. You could have been with a narcissist for 30 years. It is never too late to start your life over. Never. It really isn't. I can't even tell you how much it bothers me to think about people stuck in these relationships forever, thinking that they can't get out, because that was me for so long. I wanted to get out of this relationship, but I felt trapped. I felt like I can't get out. I can't make it on my own. And I was not able to do it on my own. I've told you before in my videos, God helped me get out of this relationship. He did. He did for me something that I couldn't do for myself. It became so bad, so unendurable that I had no choice. I mean, I've said this before, the very last day we were together, my ex tried to get me arrested. He literally filed a false police report against me. It was not possible for me to stay with somebody like that, but he had abused me for 20 years prior to that, and I stayed, and I feel like an idiot today. And that's part of what I do with my channel, is I try to help people see as early as possible. You might not be able to leave right away. I get that. I really do. But if you are with a narcissist, there is no future for you with this person. You need to understand who this person truly is, despite what they tell you. Think about Joe talking about love being an action verb. Look at the person's actions. If all you're getting is words, no action, that tells you something. Life can be so short. You don't know how long you have to live. Being tied in with a narcissist is an unimaginable fate. It's so bad to live for the small percentage of time when this person love bombs you is not a life for you. I want everybody to have the life that they deserve, the life that they should be living. When you're a good person, you don't need to be tied to this miserable monster, hoping that maybe the person will die. That is not a life for you. I did that for a long time. I thought, well, he's not really that healthy. Maybe he'll die and then I can be free. I never thought to myself until it was done for me that no, actually, I can be proactive in my own life and get out and have the life that I deserve, the life that my kids deserve. That's another thing. When you have kids with a narcissist, your kids are growing up. They don't have a choice. You need to be strong for them. So for everybody in a narcissistic relationship, I'm sending you such good vibes. I really believe that everybody can get out. Not everybody can leave right away, but please start making plans. Start thinking about it. Doors will open when you least expect it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so grateful for everybody who watches my channel. Truly, thank you. I'll see everybody on Friday. I'll make another video Friday, and then Joe will be back with me on Monday. We have a great video coming up on Monday for everybody, so definitely stay tuned for that. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you in a couple days.